Fuck colon cancer. Probably say more when I eventually do a Femi, but now a Femi style thing, which will be the what I miss, the swims. Yeah. Those will be on hold. The as of now, besides Schmoedown Rocks, the Black Sabbath reviews, or at least the first 2 albums, since it's within anniversary of the year, will definitely be taking priority for this channel. It's bullshit what is happening, and in fact, or at least until Harloff does what he says he'll do and do a SmashCancer shirt, which I will be buying, bar none. And if those proceeds go to him or whatever, then yes. Yes, that's what yes. I will be the first to buy it. Let me know. Fuck the bat. Until I get that shirt, this is staying on until you beat it. But if you want me to put it back off, well, either way, I was going to surprise you and just say I make an exception to the rule since it would involve Schmoedown with the Paranoid review. But I'm going to do it early, man. This is bullshit that this is happening to you. And it only makes that loss worse. That you had to deal with, and if Chandra does say anything involving this in any mean-spirited way, I'm done with him. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. And when he does, I'm going to say everything I want to say to him. But still give respect to Winston, because it's really him that is the reason why he has that fucking title. And the fact that Mark was gullible. Mark Ellis was gullible. I'll say more in depth later, but despite my Dungeon bias and Smasher bias, but even though I have more right to have the Smasher bias at this point, and yeah. I'll leave a link to for those who don't know what's up, the announcement video in the description, especially if you haven't seen my own personal page. Jeez. And to all the people, Matthew Ward Jr. and Payway, apologies for butchering some names, but to those two who did banners for me to put in the Dungeon and the Smasher Kaiser page, thank you. I also decided to put it on my personal page because I think only the best bet for Smash. And if you two can work together something, yeah, that'd be great. To fix, like, with the color thing on the recent one I just put up, yeah, that'd be great. Dungeon Master's orders. The answer's no joke, especially if it's in the colon, which is kind of you know, where you shit. It's one of those things, and it's something that needs to be aware, and it needs to be checked. So do that. And other than that, I guess, I mean, Smash, you know I love you, man. This is bullshit. And aside from the little thing Kaiser and Paul Preston put up, I'll have a link for that. And maybe I don't know if I'll do another link thing for the shirts, because when the shirts happen, I will get it. Like I said, bar none, but I'm sorry for this. Other than that, it's mostly Schmoedown rocks as usual. So I'm trying to ease attention with this awkwardness, but despite all that, Throwdown and the finals is what we got to talk about today. I have this has been recorded as of the moment of finishing that. And yeah. I'm sorry. Don't ask me to be in a cheery mood. Don't get you duh. This is worse than what happened with that match. How this is worse than actual fucking retirement. And I'm tired of 2020 fucking with my dungeon. Hell, if anything, if anything, this should light a fire under the Misfits' ass. To prove those polls I've been seeing wrong about them. Hell, they don't even have Category 9 making it past Odd Couple. There's only like 1 vote, and you know who the 1 vote is, of course, for Misfits. Despite the fact that, my bracket will probably say a different story. But I want them to bust it. After this year, I don't care. If that makes me a happy dungeon master, and if you can do, and don't even do it for me. Don't even do it for the dungeon. Don't even do it for Kaiser. Do it for Smash. Do you fucking hear me? Zip. Wit, whatever the fuck you're doing in Vegas. Do it, and then after that, put that aside and do what you gotta do to make the true foundation that's of this entire thing right here. Do it. This is just bullshit. This is bullshit. It shouldn't have even gotten to the point where now 2020. It's fucking personal. It's fucking personal now. It's not that it hasn't already been, but now now it really is. I would have rather brought this back on better circumstances. Trust me, Smash. I'd rather have done that. Hell, after this, I'm hoping I'll have fun at a group thing for a game night. Because I'm going to need something to take my mind off of this. Other than that, besides the fact that, we've had a couple good we had a good Throwdown and a good finals. The Ultimate Showdown, now we have because as of the recording this, the finals are done, and I've already seen it because I'm a Patreon, and if you haven't, go to Patreon. The Schmoedown, patreon.com/Schmoedown. Maybe even Sen if you like them. Or even Sen for Sen as well. But anyways, I'm trying, okay? Just the undercard. I mean, Stacy just did another Stacy thing, and it seems that it's been channeled a lot better through Roxy. And yet, as far as with the Snyder thing, it seems to have worked up to a point, and I really think it's just mostly just Snyder as opposed to really Roxy at this point. Point with that. More on that in a minute, but but yeah. I don't really fully agree. I mean, I know Lando hasn't been on record, at least through the 5-pointer, at least, for sure, on how he feels about Roxy. So, and I don't know if he really believes that entirely. And once him back in the exchange, I think it's really some exchange bias going on with him. I'm going to be honest with you. And he thinks this Gucci is better with Gucci. Given what has happened with Gucci lately, I don't even know if that is even a good... no. No, dude. No. I don't believe that for a second. Not anymore. Not any. Well, aside from just today, for the most part, that's really more on Snyder than her. Because honestly, I think he would have given up a lot quicker, and Gucci wouldn't have done a damn thing. Because when he gave up a lot quicker when he was with Gucci. So maybe if he was working with maybe Kaiser, it might have been different. Yes, I'm throwing my dungeon bias if you're going to throw your exchange bias. And I like Gucci. Or else I wouldn't have been a part of the Gucci verse recently. So, yeah. I mean, I already have my tears, but still, this is it's just bullshit what's happened. But the match, that match itself, I mean, Gray Drake was great. She did great, and then unfortunately, it was just the Claudia Dolph the situation Claudia Dolph was in against her match against Warfather. Because she wound up finally having to answer questions and got nothing. And had a 2-pointer that even I would have considered a layup. And she should have at least gotten that and tied it, so we at least would have went to sudden death and she could have won it that way. Or Stacy would have pulled something out of her butt then too. I don't know. But that's what would have happened. If she at least got her 2, and then she couldn't get her other questions. I really think she could have tried a little better on her second 2-pointer and at least tried to tie it, so it would have... No, at least she would have kept it interesting, even if she didn't get her 3 and her 5. But, oh well. It's fine. I mean, I do feel bad because it seemed like Gray actually, for the most part, had it up to that point. And plus, her little Stacey Hire pressure thing was funny, and she reminded us of the part of what was of the Schmoedown that I missed. You know, despite the loss. But regardless of that, it was fine. I didn't have too many stakes in some of these matches. I did kind of want to see Shazam finally win it. But I didn't expect it to be this way, to be almost kind of sort of in a way this weird crossover between what happened with who's the match against who's the boss and what happened to Smasher against freaking... Of course, I'm going to bring him up again. It's hard to... Against Chandru. Speaking of that, he made an appearance there. Not to mention there was a thing with the Wildberries and on that, and it was official. They made it storyline wise. I mean, I knew they were going to have a Civil War match. I just didn't think it was supposed to be a retirement. I think doing that was dumb. And the only thing about this that makes it more of an interesting thing, for which is going to be the next Throwdown, but I don't think it should be the main event, to be honest with you. I think that making that the main event is going to backfire. Personally, unless it somehow can pull off being something along the lines of what we got between with Jericho and Smith, then okay. But other than that, it's bull. But yeah, dude. Then of course that one with Shazam, which was good, and I know like Kalinowski wasn't playing his best, but surprisingly Chance wasn't either. But they played well enough to at least not get knocked out or TKO'd, so it didn't give the quirky Mercs more points in the standings than they would have had. Even though they still were going to get a bunch of points anyway because of it being a title match and for teams nonetheless. So I guess it's 3 to 4 maybe is the points for a team's title maybe. Or is it 4 to 5? I'm trying to remember, but that was interesting enough in and of itself. But oh yeah, I forgot my hand. But yeah, that was insane. seeing how that turned out, and good for Coy too, as a manager. So, but yeah. And then of course, Collins versus Snyder. Collins going in having not lost a match at all, and now this time in a 5-rounder, and now we see how he handles himself in a 5-round match. And at the very least, Snyder did well enough to not get TKO'd. It's just he was not ready, I think, for the 5-rounder. And plus, apparently there's a technical difficulty, so it does even add an extra asterisk to him. But the only thing that'll make it less seemingly of an asterisk, and the bigger asterisk of it all, a lot of what's going on with him has been asterisks, given that the Brandon Kid Meyer match. And it sucks that, and they say he's never won a 5-pointer. I call bull. Because the Brendan Meyer, with Snyder on that, because the Brendan Meyer match was a sudden death, and he hit his 5 to get it there. And he would have had to have hit his, and given how both of them answered their 5s, chances are he would have gotten it. And chances are if he had managed to tie it up, him missing that 3-pointer would have hurt, would have done him in. Even if he got the 5 to at least got the 5, Brandon would have gotten it and he would have won it. And we would have been talking a different story. But he managed to get lucky there, and he got lucky in the sense that she wasn't able, and he didn't get to have to hit his 5 this time around. That's true. But he has hit his 5 before and went to sudden death. So I think I think Snyder forgot about that thing with Meyer, or he didn't think, or he put an asterisk on that for some stupid reason. That's on you. But yeah, I think Meyer did, But as far as with this match between Snyder and this was wonderful. This was a good. This match was good for what it was, and Snyder at least was just unable to hit his 5, and an event I feel like Dan could pull it off. And I think Snyder's got, after getting this close, though I knew he was going to get number 1 contendership regardless. So now Roxy's definitely going to have to hold on to Snyder now for sure after this, because she'll automatically have a number 1 contendership spot with her. And we don't know how Odd Couple's going to play out, but I don't know if Category 9's going to, even though I want to now feel awful now because me and Jader started getting along a couple weeks ago over his boy and me sharing the same disability. So which is awkward with that. And Lord knows where the attitude is going to be for Brandon and Hannah now, going into this match, since now we all know about the relationship between him and Sabrina, or how that's going to affect it in the future. So there's that. But I want my Misfits to win the damn thing, and I need them now more to win it. But I know that they may lose to Founding Fathers, but I put up a fight, dude. If you're going to lose to Founding Fathers, at least put up a fight. Put up a fight. Witching Power, as a team, I want to see you actually thrive eventually. But it's just not going to be this season, and it sucks it's the only season we may see you. I hope that you find a way to reunite and do what you need to do, but for now, not against my dungeon. And we need this more than anything now. And Smasher will be our guide to doing that. I don't know if he'll be able to focus on helping out with that stuff behind the scenes for within the dungeon, given his current circumstances. So that's also a big factor. Adam, and I understand if it becomes more of a factor because of Adam Witt. Of having now going over to wherever in Vegas that also Kaiser was at, but now he's back here in California. He got to at least see the baby before, and he knew about the bull. Yeah, so And also, speaking of a couple of things, I'm trying to remember. Alan something. Fletcher or something? I probably butchered it. Ryan Ketcher? Sure. I'll double check the name and I'll try to get it right at the next video or so. And of course, Justin the Juice. Thank you for joining this. This is a random rocker. And our Schmoedown rocker in this case. That's a shout out to you guys. Yeah, I think that's and that's it. And as far as I know, that besides the Brett Sheridan or Zaflerdenflaus versus Kevin Smith is going to be a match. We already know it's Ace Cabrera versus Alex Damon for the Star Wars belt. Chandra Dandapani versus Chance Ellison for IG. And now we know Adam Collins versus Dan Murrell for singles. And eventually it will be now Shazam versus whoever comes out of this team's tournament. And then that's our spectacular, and we're set with that. And the teams are apparently unfortunately shorter and kind of stacked in terms of personalities involved in each team, these teams on each of these factions. And now the Quirky Mercs are at least they're considered underdog, but according to the polls, it's more Category 9 in the Misfits at this point, even though they probably really shouldn't be on paper. Whereas underdogs are at least Witching Power could wind up pulling it off, but with that kind of a team. But I'm hoping Wit has enough focus in him. I'm hoping Zipper can pull it too. They can work together and make this is the best we can offer of the dungeon to bring us home and at least keep us from being dead last. Best chance case scenario is play-in match win, and Category 9 doesn't win their match against odd couples, so that at the very least, we don't wind up, the dungeon doesn't wind up dead last. So, going into that. Because now all we have is that, and then there's the horror thing, which I guess I'll talk about that next week. Maybe, if even remotely worth talking about. We shall see. Just other than that, there's not really a whole lot. I think it's going to be a dead week, which would probably be better for me, and it'll give me time to focus on what I need to do. Put on that new guitar into what I've got set for my rig here with whatever tones I can get from that Digitech RP1000 into this Fender Champion 100 through the preamp at least. See where that goes. Maybe come up with some backup plans so I can get a master volume plan or something. I don't know. We'll see We'll see what we do. I'm working on it, Smash. I'll do it for you, man. And if you like this video, guys, is what I could remember to say given circumstances, but if you like this, smash the like button. Rock hell, smash that like button with thrust if you must. Link in the description of my Facebook page, like and follow me there. Also click when you click subscribe button, make sure you click that notification bell. And as always, guys, be random, keep it rocking. If you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown, Schmoedown rocks, Summon Entertainment, and so on and so forth is cooking, and Kevin. Smash that cancer and turn it into hamburger. You have all the minutes of playtime, and all you're gonna go, if you're going anywhere, it's outside of his ass. I think that's where the colon is. And that's what's going on. And this is going to happen when you take on the Smasher. You dreaded piece monstrosity known as colon cancer. So smash him. Smash him hamburger. You're gonna cure him with some Himalayan and some Red Sea salt. It's the only way, because it's the only kind of salt that's gonna burn that mother to the ground and make it even remotely edible to eat without getting the cancer. It'll even be better than the vegan burgers, which I'm told actually somehow gives you cancer. Whether or not that's legit or not, you never know with these scientists sometimes. But anyways, yeah. Smash cancer. Can you dig that? Now, can you dig that? Suckers.